Well, I've just crossed over into New York from New Jersey, and this is the view from the highest point on the 80 in New York. And it's a really nice day, a little bit windy. There's a flag flying up there, and this is what the trail looks like. Good evening, everybody. So what do I think of New York State at the moment? Well, I'm probably a few days in, and I'm not that impressed, I have to say. So we've had the Stairway to Heaven, which is basically a boulder climb that's maybe a mile long and quite steep, but at least you can walk it, as in upright, with your poles. So that wasn't too bad. Exhausting, but you know, there were rumours of a bear at the top of it as well, which I never found. Anyway, what else? Oh yes, and then in the guide there's a little bit of a description that one of these particular days would be challenging, that the train was challenging. So you remember how rocks was kind of like lost in translation slightly? Well, challenging has clearly been lost in translation slightly as well. Yeah, I was having a little word with a chap at one of the shelters called GT, expressing my slight concern, and he said to me, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about, it's perfectly all right." He said, "I think there might be a ladder, but that's going downhill, so you'll be all right, it'll be fine." Well, I could have killed the guy by the end of the day. It turns out that challenging means that you are often climbing a virtually vertical boulder fall with your 40-pound pack on your back for about the height of maybe 3 stories, something like that. And I am not actually exaggerating. Literally, you have to put your walking poles away and you have to scrabble hands and knees up these things and down again, and the down is as bad as the up. Some of the places are really sketchy. There was one point where I literally was hanging on by my hands with nowhere to put my feet, so that was great. Oh, and another time as well, the little white blazes are a bit sort of like, you know, not always very obvious where they are. So there's me trying to go up this steep slope, which I'm thinking, look, how could anybody have ever got up here? All there are is like bushes and a little bit of sort of slippy sort of, you know, not even a rock there. And I'm sitting there thinking, I can't actually go any further. And then I turn around, and over to the other side there's a potential sort of route, and right at the top of it there's like a rebar ladder that's been kind of like drilled into the rock, and a white blaze at the top. So I was trying to go up the wrong slope and ended up having to turn around and go up that one instead. Yeah, so by the end of that particular day, I was, well, I wasn't a happy bunny, but I was actually, because I was really pleased that I'd done it. And if I hadn't had my pack on my back, actually, to be honest, I probably would have enjoyed it, which actually surprised me. And so far, the next couple of days after that weren't any better. Coming down is difficult because you're bending your knees the whole time for a very long distance. And some of the time you're literally bum scooting off ledges and stuff. So consequently, my knees are a bit mashed, at least my left knee is. So yesterday I decided that was it. I had to come in because I could hardly stand up. So hence I'm here in a motel at the moment. I've booked myself a slightly cheaper, better place for the next 5 days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it easy and I'm going to slack pack, which basically means that you're taking with you your supplies for the day, and that's it and nothing else. So it means you've got a considerably lighter pack, so I'm hoping that that will help my knee. It also means that it's going to be easier to walk, obviously not carrying all that weight as well, and I might be able to sort of go a little bit faster possibly. So yeah, so I'm going to do that for a couple of days, and I've also decided that I might go and see the sights of New York City, considering I am so close. It's an opportunity not to be missed, really. So that'll be good. Okay, and hopefully with a bit of luck my knee will improve, and in about a week I'll be ready for the off, back into my tent, and away we go. So New York State, not great. Mind you, having said that, I did bump into a guy called Paul who's doing a yo-yo. A yo-yo is where you go up the Appalachian Trail one way, you turn around and you come down again in a year. Like, that is some kind of crazy. That's 2,192 miles times 2 in the same year. I don't even know how people like that do it. I really don't. Anyway, this guy apparently has said to me that the particular boulder scrambles that I was describing, actually in a very, very small number of miles, maybe about 8 or 9 miles of New York State, they kind of run out and the terrain goes back to normal. So I'm waiting to see whether normal has also been lost in translation. It's got to be better than a boulder scramble though, hasn't it, guys? Who knows? Oh yes, and I forgot to say, in between all these boulder scrambles, basically you've got swamp and bog with lots of mosquitoes that apparently do not understand the meaning of insect repellent. So I've ended up with several bites all over the place. I don't know if you can see that. My arms look even worse. Yes, basically I do have a net that I can put over my hat to sort of keep them off my face. Unfortunately, you can't really go climbing with one of those nets on, so no matter how much insect repellent I put on, they completely ignored it. So I've bought some better stuff now, but yes, I've been bitten and bitten and bitten, so I'm sitting here scratching a lot, and yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take for some of these to go down, but great, there we go. I'm on top of Bear Mountain, and you can just about see the NYC skyline over there in the distance. It's very faint, terribly busy, but it is a Saturday. There's loads and loads of people up here. But, there we go, and this is the tower that's on top of Bear Mountain.